flash. Now, if you don't ask questions, I'm going to leave. So, who's the first one? Okay, thanks so much. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful. Thank you very much. Come on. Oh, somebody has a question. Excellent. Okay. No, this is called foreplay, honey. I'm not used to that. I go right.
You did an episode in Highlander.
I did an episode of Highlander. Yes.
Were you sorry that you didn't get to work with Adrian Paul?
Actually, no, because the episode that I did of okay, are we done with the pictures?
No.
The episode I did was a potential spin-off for a series for a woman, and they had 4 actresses do a pilot episode, so to speak. And I actually was hoping it would go to series, but then of course they used the girl from Highlander, and they made Raven, which. Sound effects?
I just want to say that it's wonderful to be here, and Derek. Hi. Thank you very much. I don't know why I feel like Elvis today, but I think I am. I'm sort of, I don't know, I'm embodying the king today. So, yes, so no, I wasn't sorry that I didn't work with Adrian. I must say it was very interesting, though, working about an hour outside of Paris, and they take a 2-hour lunch with wine. Now, this is really interesting because in America it's like 30 minutes and bare necessities. Just eat and get back to work. So this was interesting. People were having a 4-course meal with a cheese course and a dessert and bottles of red wine on the table. And I thought, well, this is really civilized. And then, of course, you know, people are falling off the scaffolding. I went, this is really stupid. So there's two edges to each sword. Next question. Yes.
I heard that you are very interested in weaponry. What weaponry are you interested in?
I collect edged weaponry. Anything that stabs or kills, I like. I think guns are for fools and wimps. I don't believe in guns at all. I think it is the most heinous, uncivilized thing. If you're going to fight someone, then, you know, let's make it a craft. Besides which, I think that the artwork and forging that goes into making beautiful weapons is extraordinary. Not that I intend to stab anyone in the future, but I admire their... Piss me off! This morning I wanted to stab someone. No, I just think they're extraordinary art forms, whether they're dirks or daggers. Turn off the cell phones! Cell phones also should go the way of guns. Thank you. No, it's an interesting thing. I find them beautiful. Walking mans with the eating sets on them. I love those. I collect those. Yes, sir.
May I ask, which of your collection, which style of edged weapon do you like best?
I actually, just as I was saying, the walking man. I think the Scottish walking man is incredible. You have your eating set, your fork and knife, attached to a really beautiful weapons, and got me started on European ones when I was very young. I have mostly Russian, English, French, Italian, and I have no Asian in my collection. But,
I once had a rapier, beautiful.
oh yeah, I have rapiers. Yeah. My favorite piece is actually is a very old Russian bayonet that was made for a child during the Tsarist period. So it's quite interesting. Yeah, I have some really interesting pieces. And my dad's to give credit for that. Yes.
What can you tell us about Star Hike?
Oh, Star Hike! Star Hike is a TV series that I'm starring in starting next week. We're starting to film. We've already rehearsed. We worked with a gentleman from the Royal, I guess you would call it the Royal Army in London. We did a lot of fight training and so forth, and Royal Navy, excuse me. It's it's kind of like living on a submarine. The sets are smaller, more sort of conducive to a feeling of I don't know, smothering. Yeah, claustrophobic a bit. When I walked in, I said, "Oh, so these are the models?" That didn't go over very well. So these, yeah, no. The cast is wonderful. Jeremy Bulloch, who played Boba Fett in Star Wars, is in it, and Michael Edmonds from Time Bandits is in it. Sue Ann Braun from Stargate is in it. Rachel Grant from 007 movie, the last one, is in it. We have just a really great cast. They have an enormous amount of enthusiasm, and they've been really working hard. And it's kind of, people want to call it Benny Hill in space, but I called it Benny Hill in space, but I was making a joke. It is silly, and it's very British humor, but there's episodes that are very serious as well. And we do time travel, and it's kind of cool. The CGI is going to be very, very good. It's an extremely low budget TV series. We're trying to make a sort of a statement of saying you don't have to spend $1 million an episode like on Doctor Who and get nothing done because the lead actor walks out because the director and he are arguing. You can spend a little bit of money and actually make something decent, and that's what we're trying to show. It's a real grassroots movement. We actually have a fan who is volunteering his time and driving, glass and sets around all over England from Bristol, and he's working for free, and he just gets money for food, and he said, well, got nothing else to do, I might as well know that I worked on Star Hike from the very beginning, and he has, and it's great. I mean, that's the kind of sort of grassroots movement that it's become. So I'm excited about it. We start filming next Sunday.
It sounds like a future director.
I'm already directed. I like it too. Yes.
I saw Sue Ann Brown in September in London,
Uh-huh.
and I asked her if she had a question for you, so this is her question.
What's that?
What does WYK stand for?
Dottie Kai. Well, it's interesting. We all have weird names. I'm Captain Belinda Blowhard. I'm not kidding you. There's Jenny Talia. There's Commander Cropper. Woof. Woof. WOO/UF. Woof is my second in command. I mean, she's my person. That's Rachel Grant. She's the martial arts expert, and she's the one that sort of kicks ass throughout the thing. But you try saying woof. Get over here. Woof. Dottie Kai. Dottie Kai is the only one that I can't find any sexual origin from, but they all have obviously sexual connotations. Next question, please. Any practical jokes on you? See page 5. What was your favorite episode? See page 7. Buy the book. No, it's. I mean, after a while, yeah. The funny thing is, we're talking about 10 years ago, and we're talking about 88 episodes and 4 movies, and by the time you finish that amount of work, we're talking about 4.5 years of your life. Then you really don't really follow. I never saw an episode of Babylon 5 until I was off the show for 4 years. I never saw a whole episode because on Thursday nights I was working. So I mean, I never actually saw it. My mother never saw them because it didn't get to Aspen, Colorado until it was done. And then it was on at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I mean, my family didn't even see Babylon 5. So when people say, well, episode season 2, episode 13, the Belosian Freighter was coming in at dock H at 100 hours, and you push the brown button for blue sector 4, and I'm like,
Move out of your parents' basement and get a goddamn job! You know? Jesus! I'm like, bullshit, 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 my lines, bullshit, 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 my lines. You gotta learn those. The things that say about, I'll learn that, you know, no. You know, you really get excited the first 60 episodes, but then after that you're like, it's a job, you know, and you do your job, and it was extremely enjoyable, and I've never in my life worked with more incredible people than I did on Babylon 5. The cast and crew were amazing, and I'm incredibly filled with sorrow that we lost 2 of our cast in the past 5 months. So it's been a tough time, but I have to say it was an amazing experience just working with these beautiful people. Yes, sir.
I was going to ask, who was your favorite person to work with out of that cast?
You know what? Everybody is so different. I mean, Mira comes from a completely different sensibility from Eastern Europe, from a war-torn country, but a beautiful heaviness about her soul. Just a lovely, lovely woman, and just an incredibly intense person. And then you compare that to Richard Biggs, who was light and was just always on and always about everything, and every day was just, hey, Kate, what can I do now? And Bill Mumy, who's, you know, musician, artist, I mean, everything. Everybody was extraordinary. Every single person. There wasn't one person that I cannot say a bad word about anybody.
Have you seen any of them recently?
I did see, you know, I keep in touch with Mira and Goran, her husband, and Pat Tallman, and Bruce Boxleitner, Melissa, and I was in touch with Richard and Lori before Richard passed, and you know, Jerry Doyle floats into all of our lives at some point, you know. But it's a good group of people. It was a really great group of people. You had a question over there? Somebody had their hand raised. Don't be shy. Yes.
You're many things. You're a singer, an actress, you're directing, you said. What is the one thing that you'd like to be remembered by?
Ruling the world. Just maybe, how about I start with a small country?
Like this one.
Yeah, yes. No, you know what? I actually, it's funny, when I was a kid, I always said to myself, the reason why, I mean, I loved acting, and I've never had another job other than being an actress, but honestly, I really wanted to be a philanthropist. I wanted to make enough money to give it away. I want to help children. I want to be able to walk up to somebody who's homeless and say, here's an apartment, here's a job. That's my dream. Unfortunately, I haven't quite gotten to that point, but that's my goal in life, would be to be in a situation where I could say, let me give you this amount of money to change your life, and let's see what you do with it. It's a human testing zone, is what I would want to do, is take certain individuals that seem to have, you know, just come upon bad times and give them a break. I want to give human beings a break, because so many people have such hard times nowadays. I mean, you know, with housing costs and everything, it's insane how you can survive on $18,000 a year. You can't. I mean, the minimum wage is ridiculous. You're poverty-stricken. You can't afford to feed, especially if you have children. I mean, forget about it. You know, school in a decent school in America is $20,000 a year for a 6th grader, not a college student. College is $200,000. And you're bringing in $50,000 a year? So you get in debt. And people, what I would like to do is go around and pay off people's debt, set them free, so they can be creative, because the more you think about how much you owe and that heaviness that surrounds your life about money, it really makes you focus only on that and not on being a creative person and helping other people. I mean, if you have financial freedom, you can be wonderful. You know, you can do everything you want. But if you're stuck in a situation, then you're stagnant. Yeah.
It's like a leash.
It's a lesion, yeah.
It's getting worse and worse.
It's cancer, yeah. No, it really is. It's horrible. I hate that. So yeah, if I had my druthers, I would have gotten a huge trust fund. Yes. Inheritance.
What you just told us feel how to do what you want to do, you know? Try to pay other people's debts. Are you actually going somewhere so you can...
Well, I mean, honestly, in my mind, I always thought if I made enough money just for me to survive, then everything else would be for everyone else. And no, randomly pick people. Just find out. I mean, I work for a lot of charitable organizations, and find out that a woman with 3 kids whose husband just left or whatever has no money for rent, and I'd go buy her a house. That's my dream, you know. Or, you know, alternatively, a man who has lost his 3rd job, and not because of him, but because the business is downsizing or whatever. You know, give him some money to be able to relax until he finds the right job. You know what I mean? It's just making people's lives a little more comfortable. We're talking about, I mean, there was a 20-year-old that just committed suicide in England because he couldn't pay off his £15,000 debt. He killed himself because he was embarrassed that he had that much debt. I mean, that's wrong. And the credit card companies are feeding into it, you know. I don't mean to be on a soapbox, I'm sorry.
Welcome to Holland.
Yeah, thank you.
I'd like to test your memory. Can you tell something about your experience filming The Hidden?
Can I what?
Tell something about the experience of your experience.
Oh, my experience on The Hidden, that was my very first movie, and the producers were extremely nice. They said, well, you've got a strip scene. I went, okay. And they said, so we're going to send you to a strip bar, okay, and you're really going to strip, okay. So I actually went to a place called the Aladdin in Los Angeles, and I didn't fully strip, but I actually went undercover and did a routine. I made about 20 bucks. I was pretty proud of myself. I got some good tips. They were a little bit angry that I didn't take the whole kit off, but no, I was like 19 years old or something, or 20 years old, and I did my little dance number, and then I had to learn how to use the pole, which was very interesting. And then I had to learn to use an AK-47, a Steyr, and about 8 other guns, and that was the most interesting thing. They were full blanks that were squibs attached to my jacket, so I kept getting shrapnel in my eyes. It was not the most safe environment, I would say, but it was a very enjoyable experience. Yes?
Linking back to you ruling the world.
Yes!
I found something strange on doing some research.
Oh,
I
boy.
found something called Darth Vader's psychic hotline.
You know what, that was some...
I have no idea what it is.
No, it was just some fan, sort of internet chat room that asked me to supply some voices for them, and I did it for free. So, yeah, no, I didn't watch it or hear it. I hope they didn't distort it. But no, I just did them a favor. Yeah. So I can't answer that. But I know nothing. I know nothing. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
With your interest in edged weapons, wouldn't you rather play swashbucklers?
Well, yeah. I mean, I love playing. I mean, that's why I love the Highlander. Chopping a man's head off was most gratifying. Nothing against men, of course. I like men when I can eat them, but no. I mean, it was really wonderful working with swords. I love weaponry. I do enjoy it. So yeah, I guess you would say, you know, people say, well, what would you really want to play? Well, in reality, what I would want to play is everything Jim Carrey gets, you know, something where you can be totally off the wall and goofy. But I have the opportunity to do that now in Star Hike. I'm sort of a cross between William Shatner and Leslie Nielsen and Naked Gun. That's my character.
Or stripping.
No stripping. No. I do wear lingerie, and I am Scarlett O'Hara in one episode. But other than that, you know, it is a bit bizarre. But I love comedy. I really do. Especially coming off my last play, which was 8 weeks of being somebody that is manic depressive, crying every night. I was like, I don't want to cry! 8 times a week, 8 performances a week of just meltdowns. And so I had enough of tragedy. I heard it say that the thrill of romance could be like a heavenly dream. That's my Billy on heroin. Yeah. I go to bed. You wonder, how did you get that phrasing? Oh yeah. Sorry. It's like, how did he have that much energy in the film? Okay, now I get it. Sorry, that was just my little aside. Yes, sir?
Can you tell me something about your new CD?
That new CD is actually about a year old. It's my 5th one. I did a single called Taboo, and I had a B-side, and that was my first one. And then I did another, I did a Scottish musical called Area 51. And then I did a Babylon 5, B5 collection of songs. And then I did Claudia Squared. And then I did this one, which is Once Upon a Time, and it's 3 songs from Bill Mooney, 3 songs from the band Bubble, 3 songs from Shannon Day and I. Her sister actually had the group New Shoes. I don't know if you remember that band that had one huge hit, which was, oh God, now I'm spacing on it. And then I wrote 3 songs as well. So it's kind of a jazz, blues, pop, rocky kind of thing.